Tell me honestly, when you wake up in the morning, do you have a sense of why you got up? Not in the sense of work, breakfast, shower. I'm talking about something else. Do you have a feeling that the day that is starting right now is leading you somewhere? Or are you just drifting? Today I want to talk about something fundamental, about a system, about why its absence is not just a difficulty, it's a disease. Quiet, unnoticed, and very destructive. Ask yourself a simple question. What would happen if trains didn't run on schedule, but whenever the driver felt like it? Today at 7, tomorrow at noon, the day after tomorrow, maybe we won't go at all. Not in the mood. Sounds funny, right? Even absurd. But that's exactly how most people live. Not by schedule, not by route, but by mood, by circumstances. Because it just somehow worked out that way. Look around. Everything that works in this world works by system. The change of day and night, the movement of planets, the change of seasons, the work of your heart. None of these things ask you, are you in the mood today? It just works. Consistently, accurately, without exceptions. Your body is one of the most complex systems in the universe. Trillions of cells, each of which knows its role. Your heart beats an average of 100,000 times a day. You don't ask it to. It just does its job. Your lungs, your immune system, your brain, all of this works like a well-oiled machine. But what happens when the system fails? You feel it immediately. Fever, pain, weakness, and you don't sit idly by. You go to the doctor, take pills, get tests, you treat it. Because you know, if you don't fix the glitch in the system, it will get worse. Now tell me, when laziness, procrastination, apathy, constant self-doubt dominate your life, why don't you treat that? Why do you take a pill for a fever, but don't build a system against chaos? Canadian clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson, in his book 12 Rules for Life, talks about one of the most ancient conflicts in human nature, the conflict between order and chaos. I'll put his thought in my own words. Chaos is the place where darkness will consume you if you aren't careful enough. Order is what keeps you afloat. Peterson isn't saying chaos is evil. No, he says chaos is inevitable. Life is unpredictable. Things happen. People leave. Plans fall apart. Health fails. You can't remove chaos from your life, but you can create a structure that will hold you up when chaos hits. Peterson observed thousands of people in his clinical practice, people with depression, anxiety, a sense of emptiness, and meaninglessness, and he noticed a pattern. Almost all of them lacked structure, not money, not external circumstances, but structure, routine, system. Thought comes first, action second, and here's the problem of a person without a system. His thoughts are chaotic. In the morning, he thinks about one thing, in the evening about another. Today, he will definitely start, and tomorrow, oh well, not right now. And these thoughts breed the same chaotic actions or a complete lack thereof. Peterson says, tell me what you do every day, and I'll tell you who you will become. This isn't a pretty phrase, it's a diagnosis. There is a man known to the whole world, a basketball player. 5 championship titles, 2 Olympic golds, one of the greatest athletes in history, Kobe Bryant. But I don't want to talk about his titles. I want to talk about what was behind them. In his book, The Mamba Mentality, Kobe doesn't describe victories. He describes a system, the very system that made victories inevitable. He tells how every morning at 4 o'clock he was already on the practice court. Not because someone forced him, not because he was in the mood. He spoke about it simply. While everyone is sleeping, I work. While everyone is working, I improve. I'm not forcing you to get up at 4 in the morning like Kobe. That's a titanic effort. I'm talking about the fact that you can build the system that works specifically for you to become better. And here's what's important to understand. Kobe wasn't the tallest, fastest, or most physically gifted player in the league, but he was one of the few who had an absolutely structured training system. Daily, without exceptions, without giving himself a break. He studied opponents on video for hours. He practiced one move thousands of times. He knew his weak spots and worked on them rather than hiding from them. Once he was asked, "What is the secret of your success?" And he answered briefly, "I just did what I had to do every day, even when I didn't want to." That's the whole secret. Not luck, not inspiration. System. Every man has something worth building a system for: family, health, body, inner peace. But if you don't have a system, you aren't moving toward it. You're just existing next to it. Kobe once said, "If you're afraid of failure, then you've already lost." But I'll add something of my own. The most pathetic failure is not defeat in a struggle. It's a life without trying. A life in which you waited for the right moment and never got it. A system is giving up on that waiting. Let's go back to the body. I want you to understand this analogy completely. Take a simple example, the pancreas, a small organ that most people never notice. It works quietly, unnoticed, every day, doing its part, regulating blood sugar levels. You don't think about it, you don't even feel it working. But as soon as it stops coping, you have diabetes, and your whole life changes. One organ, one function dropped out of the system, and everything went haywire. Now think about your life. Sleep, nutrition, movement, work, relationships, time for yourself. Each of these elements is an organ in your life system. Can you ignore sleep? You can, at first. Then the glitches will start. Can you not move? Yes, until your back and head start to hurt. Can you not dedicate time to yourself, your thoughts, your inner state? Of course, until you find yourself at a point where you're staring at the ceiling at night, not understanding what is even happening to your life. This isn't fate. This is the predictable result of a life without a system. In the book of Proverbs, there is one passage I want to share with you. It says, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest." This isn't just advice to work hard, it's a description of a system. The ant doesn't wait for motivation to strike. It doesn't ask itself, "What if this isn't needed?" It doesn't procrastinate. It understands one simple thing: what you do today feeds you tomorrow. That is a system, simple, clear, without unnecessary words. And notice the text says it has no commander or overseer. The ant doesn't work because someone is standing over it. It works because it understands the logic of life. Kobe lived by the same logic. No one stood over him at 4 a.m. No one forced him to stay in the gym 2 hours longer than the others. He was his own overseer, motivator, and boss. What about you? Are you waiting for someone to come and tell you that you need to organize your life? That some circumstance will appear that will force you to build a system? Sometimes that circumstance does come. Yes, it's an illness, a loss, a crisis, but by then the price can be very high. American author and habit researcher James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, asks a very uncomfortable question. He asks, do you want to achieve a result, or do you want to become the kind of person who achieves those results? Most people live from goal to goal. Lose 10 kilograms, earn $10,000, read 20 books. They focus on the finish line, and when they reach it, or don't reach it, which happens more often, they go back to where they started. Because the system doesn't change. Clear writes, and this is very accurate, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Think about those words. You don't rise. You fall. This means that a goal without a system is an illusion, a pretty picture in your head that has no foundation under it. And a system without a goal is just a habit, stable but meaningless. You need both, direction and a mechanism of movement. Kobe understood this on an instinctive level. He had a goal to be the best. Every practice, every game film session, every decision about nutrition and recovery, all of this wasn't for the sake of one game. It was for the sake of becoming the kind of person who wins games. Clear would call this an identity shift. Kobe didn't say, "I want to become a champion." Kobe lived like a champion long before he got his first championship ring. And the most important thing Clear says is that a system changes not only your results, it changes your identity, who you believe you are. A person without a system says, "I'm trying to become disciplined." A person with a system says, "I am a disciplined person." This isn't pride, it's self-definition. And that is exactly where inner resilience comes from. Now, I want you to see the whole picture. Your thoughts are seeds. Every thought you repeat long enough becomes a belief. And a belief is no longer just a thought. It's a filter through which you look at the world. If you think every day, "I won't succeed anyway," you aren't just feeling sad, you're shaping behavior. You start avoiding action. Because why act if nothing will work out anyway? This isn't weakness, it's logic. Now, actions. Every action you take, especially a repeated one, is a signal. A signal to your brain, a signal to your body, a signal to yourself. This is who I am, this is how I act. This is what is normal for me. A person who does the same conscious action every morning gradually becomes a different person. Not because the action is magical, but because it's a signal. I control myself. I build myself. I don't drift with the flow. And now the most important part, the soul. I'm not talking about religion in a narrow sense. I'm talking about that deep inner feeling that every man has. The feeling of whether you are living right or not. And when your thoughts don't match your actions, your soul feels it. You think, "I should change my life," but you stay put. You think, "I should be a better father," but you put off talking to your son again. You think, "I need to take care of my health," but you break your routine again. And with each such gap between thought and action, life becomes chaotic. This isn't a metaphor, it's a psychological reality. Clear called this voting against yourself. Kobe called it betraying your potential. Call it what you want. The essence is the same. When you don't build a system, you betray yourself slowly, unnoticed, every day. Okay, you're listening to this and maybe thinking, "I know all this, but why do I still do nothing?" That's an honest question, and it deserves an honest answer. The first reason isn't laziness. Laziness is a symptom. The reason is deeper. It's fear. Fear of starting and not coping. Fear that if I try and fail, I will completely lose hope because it's easier not to start. Then, hope remains. An illusion, but it's comforting. The second reason is the absence of pain. Until the gap between where you are and where you want to be causes enough pain, you don't move. That's biology. The brain optimizes energy. Why spend effort if it's tolerable? But tolerable is not what you came into this world for. The third reason is the illusion of time. I still have time. I'll start later. This is one of the most dangerous traps, not because there is no time, but because later is a non-existent moment. It never comes. There is only now. Kobe passed away at 41, suddenly, without warning. I'm not saying this to scare you, not to remind you of this terrible tragedy or to somehow desecrate the memory of this outstanding man. No. I'm saying this so that you hear one simple thing. You don't have infinite time to think. You only have now, and how you use this now every day, that is your life. Not a rehearsal, life. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your life, and your life is what you leave behind. Not words, not intentions, but deeds. Kobe once said, "I don't think about legacy during the game, I think about the next play." That's the whole answer. Don't think every time about who you want to be in 10 years. Think about the next move, about how the next move brings you closer to that better version of yourself in 10 years. Until next time.